I know what you'll do for a Friday the 13th celebration, but I'm sure something eerie, maybe get a tattoo. Okay, everybody. Oh, we got a bunch of people in here now. Be sure to like the video if you're watching this right now. I'll respond and come back on and talk to you guys later because we don't have too much time in the building right now because our special guest has a tour tonight. But yeah, ghost hunt. Here we go, everybody. Want to introduce yourself?
Greetings, I'm Bloody Mary. I am Voodoo Queen New Orleans. I'm a orphanage area and my hospital area. The charity hospital, not far away, abandoned since Katrina in 2005. Was still using this style wheelchair when it closed.
Yeah, let me get a good shot of this.
Yeah,
This thing is
that means like
crazy.
From 1930s or so when this was made to 2005. Lots of people were wheeled around and still come back through it. Or it's a haunted wheelchair too. So part of Charity Hospital, a whole floor in fact, was kind of an orphanage. So I work a lot with children's spirits.
Really?
And this back here was from Mother Cabrini's orphanage. So there's lots of children's spirits here. There's 200 years of life and death in the building, of course, that could come back if they want to. And then there's all the spirits that can come through the haunted items if they want to. No one is forced to stay here or forced to come in. And, I have a nice bedside manner with the spirits. I don't break out the big guns unless I have to. It's very rare that I have to. But you gotta have them anyway. In order to do so. But I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with the dark side at all. Once in a while, it filters in without any kind of balance, and we just have to try to balance it, and that's all. So I have a few items in here that are allegedly cursed. I have a lot of them that are haunted, a lot of them that carry things, and a lot of them that we heal some of the spirits through, because I do believe that you can still heal and help heal in the afterlife. So we got a haunted wheelchair for you.
And this,
lots of other stuff.
And
a cat.
You've had. Oh yeah, well.
I got Ramses.
Ramses over here. This is a mummified cat, if you can't tell online.
And he was a hairless cat.
Really?
I guess all mummies are hairless, but he was already hairless, so that's why I think they called him Ramses. And there was a cat that came with the building, and he's been seen a lot and heard a lot. He might rub up against you and meow, but really loud, so that you actually hear as well as feel. So this isn't just a place where you get paranormal evidence on, technological devices. You can have an experience. You can be touched, you can hear things, you can feel things, you can see things. There's a lot of empathic paranormal that goes on here. The spirits teach you through feeling certain ways. It's really interesting. So there's all sorts of spirits. It's a 200-year-old building, and of course there's even history here from before this building was here. Because it's not only what's here, but what was here. And just to mess you all up, it's also what will be here in the future. And since the dimension of time is not what we think it is, and we can have a foreshadowing of that as well.
I want to point out to people too, Courtney and I were here last night with Mary and a friend, and we were doing a sort of, not a seance really, but
sort of. I do what I call voodoo paranormal, which is a combination of old school and new school. We were doing work through a belonging of a place or of a person in order to channel their energies and who they were better. Also to ground them into helping them come through stronger. You've all heard about, if you're going in to do a medium or a reading, to bring something of the person that you want to connect. It helps ground that through, because the thread that we have to connect with most spirits is very, very thin. And that just stabilizes it and gets it stronger. So I would do psychic provenance with what I get, and then I get back up through one of my associate psychics and voodoo workers. And so we did that energy-wise. We also combined, like I do in my regular seances, using some paranormal tools and devices. So we used the REM pod, and we used the ovulus, and a few other things. And sometimes there's physical mediumship that occurs, that the spirit will knock things and bang things, and you'll see things. So it just depends on the night, depends on the spirit. It's all about both sender and receiver's combined abilities. So I can see sometimes, but I hear more. I smell sometimes, but I feel more. You know, and if one spirit is more apt to come through in one sense more than another, you know, hopefully that's how we'll catch on to it.
And we some incredible responses, stuff on the devices, along with things that you guys were just picking up on. I know
two different
people.
Yeah, spirits that were here is we have at least 13 that came with the house, and then some that come with the artifacts that I don't count into that 13, and then some that come with you. And there was one that came with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
He liked me.
Colin.
Yep.
He latched on because he saw a light, even though he says he's in the dark. He saw a light, you know, because you and Courtney are, you know, this little light and bubbly murder couple. You know,
You're right.
like,
We
you know,
really
like
are.
pure and light and this and that and very likable, but you talk about only the dark side.
Right.
You know? So they saw the light part. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they saw the part that could help them, or maybe they knew you were coming here.
You never know.
As I said, there's a foreshadowing. Spirits, you always talk about spirit guides. They can see a little bit farther.
Mm-hmm.
They can see your intentions. They can see your jobs. They can see what ails you. They can see a little bit into your future. You know, so that's why the spirit can guide you. Can see where you're going and how real you are. You can't lie to them as much as you do to other humans.
Right.
You know,
That's true.
they see
Yeah.
through you differently than we do. So, yeah. So we'll talk to them. He liked the toys that we had here last time, so we reinforced that he could play with the toys.
Mm-hmm.
He liked the toys. I think Andy brought him some chocolate. He liked the chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a keen sense of smell, according to her. She was getting the smell part of him. And you can smell things paranormally, right? I mean, sometimes, you know, I always ask the spirits what they want me to bring, and sometimes we'll smell a response, whether it's a cologne or a food. And, you know, one time I was in a graveyard, there was no one there. It was a private tour, it was a couple, and the woman was 10 steps behind taking pictures, and me and the guy were side by side. We walked to the same spot, like right at the same time, right after we left this tree, and I asked what they wanted to bring, and both of us went, whoa, shit, you know, I was like, and the woman's like, what, and I'm like, that's that smell, and she's like, what smell? And we both turned, it's like, you can't smell that, it was intense, it wasn't light and wafting, it was like, and she's like, what? I said, well, I don't know. The best way to explain it is like maybe 100 people were locked in one of those little smoking rooms in the airport smoking pot, and somebody just opened the damn door, contact high and all, like, on the ground. It was like, fuck. And
Wow.
then, you know, walked a few more steps. It's like, wait a minute. I'll bring you guys a lot of things. I'll give you a cigarette. I'll give you a cigar. Hell, if I'm gonna cop drugs for you. You know, but they'll try. They asked. I said no. But we smelled it. I mean, so strong. But it was like two of us. One right there could not smell anything. So not all of us get everything at the same time. It's like pieces of a puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
But they will, you know, I mean, I asked what you want. That's what they wanted, you know. Just didn't. You can say no. Just say no.
Just say
On
no.
either side.
Yeah.
It's supposed to
Right.
work. If they say no, say no. Say, okay, how about this? And give them a cigarette. But
This is what you got.
I believe that we should cooperate with the invisible worlds, a lot of old shamanic belief systems, and that's what voodoo is, and that's what I am. Believe that at least 5 or more generations behind you are responsible for helping you here, and you're responsible for all the generations that are come ahead. It's, you know, we help each other.
And your family's been here a long time too. Speaking
My family's
of,
been here 300 years, so I have a lot of connections with a lot of the stories, and most of that I did not know till after.
that's
Which
good.
is really cool.
That is
An
wild.
interesting way to do genealogy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like I'm looking for a building for something else. It's like, oh my God, there's my grandma. You know, you start putting it all together and questioning family members, always questioning family members. A lot of them are dying before you ask the questions. Ask them now. And get something. It doesn't have to be about big money. Get something that belonged to your great grandma, whether it's a pin or a ring or a hat. You know, these things help you get something, connect, get the stories.
Mm-hmm.
Get the stories.
It's important. It
It's
really
very important.
is.
And the younger you are, the less you care. But as you get older, it's like, I wish I would have listened to her more. I wish I would have asked questions. I wish I would have cared more when I was in my 20s, you know? I make up for it now. But still, a lot of that information is lost.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of information in history books is wrong. So you have to ask direct, you know?
Right.
And there's spirits out there that really want their history corrected. I have channeled during a tour or during a ghost hunt and said some things that somebody said to me, and I'm like, I never said that. And they all like, yes, you did. I was like, no, I didn't. I'm like, yes, you did. And I was like, okay, that means I channeled it. So I wrote it down, and then I would go somewhere, and there'd be a person that would say, come look at this. Did you know that? And I get
Good
to
work.
they're listening.
Well, I want to point out too to everybody on here, we're shooting a TikTok. This ring light on just plugged into the wall down there, and it shut off. Yeah, it's not a battery powered light. It just turned off by itself. So there's some sort of energy in this room.
I didn't give any offerings since we started doing this. I usually open the gates and give food and candy, and I didn't because I knew we were in a hurry. They like the liquor. They need the energy to manifest. If you don't give them something, they will take them something. And that was a reminder. So on that note, say hello to your people. I'm going to get some rum.
Okay. Well,
this is
not for
us.
Sponsored. So everybody, yeah, if you are just joining in now, we're here in New Orleans. Courtney is at the Airbnb working on the podcast. We are in Bloody Mary's Haunted Museum here in New Orleans. This is a property with a lot of history. We're going to be covering this building in a video in the New Orleans series with Mary. We just did a psychic, not a seance, but almost a seance last night. Got some crazy evidence, investigated another part of the building that is going to be in a different episode.
One to my homies. That's what else Sambuca. I'm just going to put that out there, sweeten them up, make them in the mood. And now come back and sit down.
Well, with that, I'm going to turn on the REM pod.
Sure.
You want to ask some questions to the... Let's explain this first one more time because we got a lot more people in here than the beginning. So this wheelchair is from...
Charity Hospital in New Orleans. It's a 1 million square foot abandoned building less than a mile away that's been abandoned since Katrina. It was part of the oldest hospital system in the country, same year starting as Bellevue in New York, 1736. This is a newer incarnation. It was the largest incarnation known as Big Charity, literally 1 million square feet, and we're gonna film that. And it's still laying there empty. As of December last year, they decided they were going to start renovating and try to reopen it, not as a hospital, but as a multi-use building. They have just tapped the surface of trying to do a restoration and renovation. And anniversaries are the two #1 time for spirit activity. Opening up old wounds. And the new construction workers have talked about apparitions and things that are going on in there. But it's always talked about being haunted, even when it was open.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a beautiful building, and it's got a lot of stories to tell.
Here's the Charity Hospital. This is after the abandonment, obviously. It's kind of hard to see with that reflection. Just look up Charity Hospital if you guys want to see a picture on Google.
I've got a couple of Charity Hospital TikToks at Bloody Mary NOLA under, I think it's under... I was under New Orleans culture, probably. I've got a few of them on there. But this came out of that. And as I said, they were still using this style wheelchair in 2005. So there's a lot of history and spirits, patients, as well as a nurse. A very stern nurse with a starched hat on the side. And there's a lot of spirits that sometimes you kind of... Pill time! My associate, Michael Bill, he's always... That's how he shakes. To get their attention, so I'm doing that. Is the REM pod on?
Here, yeah, let's turn this on. Oops, sorry guys about that. I'm gonna turn this on too. Okay, everybody. We got the REM pod right here. You guys know this thing. We've got the wheelchair here. Got Bloody Mary. No mirror, actually.
There's always a mirror.
do you appear if I say your name 3 times in the mirror?
If I'm not busy.
So you're busy most of the time because I've tried.
I did that. Well, you're not supposed to do it at all. It's only for women.
Really?
There.
I didn't know that.
Well, no, of course not. You're gay. In the modern generations, everybody does it. But long ago, when I was a kid, it was a female thing because I could take the spook totally out of it for you. But the last time I told... was it George Noonan? One of those about it. They got very upset.
Really?
And not because of what I said, but because they can't handle saying things like, Bloody Mary is your cycle. That's what Bloody Mary is. And that's why it was just women. It was a rite of passage, calling and trying to break through as you're going from child to womanhood.
Really?
It was never a ghost. And it was never Mary Worth. And it was never Queen Mary I. All of those were also known as Bloody Mary, but it was about the mirror and channeling and seeing different parts of your life, looking in the mirror. I have think I have a whole story. But you know what? I've researched this for decades and decades, and some people thought they were going to see when I was getting. I was told what you would look like as a past life, what you'd look like in the future, what your future husband was going to be. It didn't start become a bloody slasher kind of thing until slasher movies became popular.
I had no idea.
It changed.
Wow.
And some people, which I find interesting, say that they were supposed to see the Virgin Mary, but with a creepy veil. So these are the things that everybody was seeing in the past. And like the games at adolescence, you know, see who your future husband will be. See what you're going to look like as an old woman. The mirror was a portal for not only spirits, but time and things. So it was way more than just a little game. It was part of a rite of passage.
Really?
Girls. So that's why boys don't see her, but some might. I don't know. They might get to see her.
I would love to see Bloody Mary. Well, I am right now, but not the one I'm talking about.
I have tens of thousands of annoying pre-adolescents, boys and girls, who woke me up for a decade or more in the middle of the night, begging me to come to their party and not kill them, asking me to not, I mean, like to the point that I was going to kill them if they kept calling anymore. It's like, you know, it's like you're gonna die young and you'll never find love. You know, starts getting really mad at them. But you know, if they're persistent, once in a while, I said that to somebody, and the guy goes, "You called me fat." It's like if you say so.
Wow.
And so yes, I have. They really get mad. You know, well, how can you answer the phone? It's like, why are you calling me? Would a spirit have a phone number to call? You know, I mean, the phone would be blowing up. The storage was overfilled. I was pulling my hair out for a really long time. But I have every one of your phone numbers still.
Right when you said, oh, look at that, right when you said that. Whoa. That's crazy. Look at that. Wow.
I have your numbers, don't I, little children?
It's a kid crying for help. Like, you trapped me.
I take care of all my spirit children. But the living ones, man, get a grip. Get smart. Come on. No, I have my own child, and I have a grandbaby on the way.
Aww.
And I have met the spirit of the grandbaby before she was born, and I've dealt with many unborn spirits.
Wow.
They're out there with all the rest of them.
Wow.
You know?
Well.
So just to throw all those ringers at
Yeah.
you know, dimensions of time, and, you know, different things, and Bloody Mary Mirror, but yeah.
And you have a red shirt on, so.
I do, because I am.
The bloody theme is
I
continuing.
am also distantly related to Queen Mary I, known as Bloody Mary through the Robert the Bruce connection. She never had children, so it was more of a collateral cousin kind of thing, but there is a bloodline connection to all of that. And you know, we've got our Raggedy Ann here, Annabelle. She floats around. She did. She was over there, and I kept bringing her over here, and she kept
moving back and
back
forth.
where she was and coming back in. It's just her permanent spot now. I have lots of old Raggedy Ann dolls, some with spirits in them. I have a whole haunted doll collection.
Oh, that room
for sale.
is.
Well, I have the collection, but I also have the ones for sale. Because everybody wanted to buy my collection ones, and I said, well, no, I gifted those to the spirits, and the spirits in them. I'm not taking them away and selling them, but now I've got more. But I rub my other Annabelles on this one, so it can be like a secondary relic.
Wow.
And no one has been. Oh, it beeped up on that.
Really?
Did you like that? So now say it again. I rub my other Annabelles on this one, so it could be like a secondary relic, and it went off. But anyway.
Oh, Nona, that's my grandma's nickname. I've never Nona.
What?
Nona, N-O-N-A.
Oh, your granny's here. A lot of times when I call in the spirits and talk to the ones up here, your ancestors will come through. And usually that's what we would be trying to do if we were doing more of a technical seance, which I do Victorian-style seances. We supplement with some of the spirit tools sometimes. But, yeah, your ancestors will come through because we don't walk alone. So, Nona, what's her name?
Yeah, Nona Dolores Erickson.
Grandma, huh?
Yep.
She beeped. There was 3 going. See, look.
Whoa.
Grandma. Nona, hi. Are you proud of Colin? Should I ask this on camera? Are you happy about his engagement? I'd be a great grandma.
Oh, it likes the pills.
You want to be great grandma?
It's just saying the pills.
But no, she came through. So yes, you don't walk alone.
Yeah, no.
And some, I mean, it's not like they're there every minute of the day. Everybody gets all creeped out. It's like, does it mean they're there in the shower? It's like, well, theoretically. They're not like taking a shower with you. It's not like watching and gawking through binoculars, but it's in your bloodline. And they could be there maybe more overt when there's something you need a warning for. But they will be there, by the way, at your wedding. Won't you? At my weddings, and I do hundreds of weddings. I do paranormal weddings, I do voodoo weddings, I do classic weddings.
You officiate them?
Oh, God, yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
I did not know that.
Big weddings.
Wow.
Yeah. The courtyard all over, in the park, in major hotels. Oh, yeah. I've done thousands of weddings over the years. In graveyards. Cheat.
Shoulder cheat. Oh, and it spiked right there, too.
Yeah, cheat. I'm not cheating. But no, I do a lot of weddings, and I always have an ancestral altar, unless it's going to make somebody cry. At one of them, I ask to bring something of someone. We call on all the ancestors, the invisibles. We have specific people that you call to be at your side. So at your wedding, you call on Nona. And, both of them would have someone. And sometimes we give a glass of champagne and everything. So the ancestors are there to witness important events.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people work in hospitals that think, oh, it's down, like you. Dark side, dude. You want to go down in the morgue, right?
Oh, yeah.
Actually, more spirits in the maternity ward. Spirits coming to look at the new ones being born into the bloodline, helping along and watching.
Interesting.
So, I mean, they're probably in both places, but, coming in, coming out these times.
Mm-hmm.
So there would be a lot of spirits there as well. And there's also spirits in that hospital, people that built the hospital.
Yeah.
People that worked at the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
People that are now rebuilding the hospital. People that died there. But not only the people that died. It's about where you lived at and where you grew up and where your favorite places are. You're connected in so many ways. And if you've already been there, it's kind of like leaving a trail of astral breadcrumbs. But then if you haven't, then maybe through like the earth I asked you to get, or through spike, or through this wheelchair, then it might help them come through. Sometimes they need an anchor. Sometimes we all need an anchor. We need to help getting through. So can someone here turn on the REM pod? The REM pod was crazy actually.
Yeah.
I didn't listen to me. It behaved when I told it to stop, so I didn't have to push the damn button. But tonight, don't you want to have something to say? We have I have an app that you can get. It's like touring the museum without being in the museum. It's called Go to Bloody Mary Tour. And it's got a geo tour in there, and it's got voiceover and history, and it's got like 30 stops. It's an hour and a half of voiceover and music, evidence. I've got crime scene photos for up here. I've got evidence from ghost hunts all over the place, ghost pictures. It's got EVPs, a couple of EVPs from this wheelchair. It's got all kind of things in there. It's, I don't know, $4, something like that. Go to your app store. It went up. They want you to go to the app store and buy.
They really want you to go to the app store.
Right. You want them to go to the app store. Don't make me a liar. Come on.
That would have been really cool if the REM pod goes crazy, but
you go to the app store now. I hate this. This is my most hated.
Yeah, you were talking about why do you not like the K2?
Because I just don't. I mean, I don't know. I think first of all, people give too much credit for it. You can just sit there and just watch it, and sometimes it'll go off. You can energetically easily affect it without trying. But I'll have 3 of us in an area at the same one, and one will go off, the other one won't. It's not consistent. But some people like train themselves. Okay, I want more spirit. Would you give me 3 or 4? I don't know. I just think it could be better. I believe you are your best paranormal instrument, and you need
it's
to
true.
in yourself and use these things as, backup, but not to totally delve into them. Can you say something on the obvious? Any of the spirits here have anything to say?
Oh, can we turn this on over here?
We can try to see if it wants to.
Oh, whoa! There goes the spirit box.
Sorry, it was a gentle slide across the floor.
It wasn't really a kick.
It wasn't.
More of a slide. So, we used this last night. We got some interesting responses.
Open the way. Open. Did you hear Demon?
I just heard Demon just right there.
It is. Mother Mary here. Who's there?
This, very frankly,
Quite frankly. Open the gates. Hey, do you have something to say for our YouTube audience today? Noon? Is it, what's her name? Grandma?
Nona.
Nona. Is Nona good with electric?
I don't know.
Does anyone want to say hello?
Anybody from the wheelchair, potentially? If you're attached to that thing?
Master. Yes, what would you like? I'm your master. So I said, sometimes it takes a long time to warm up, sometimes it doesn't. Is there a message? What's the message?
It's like I'm hearing like...
Gotta go back.
This is a really cool little knob.
Oh, I designed it. Yeah. Okay, I got the crystal in there. I put my Beyblades in there to the spirits of the dead. Got my logo.
This is like custom for you?
Yes.
Wow.
The Poltercom company. He's a one man show, and he's got some interesting things like the electroscopes, and he's got a little half version of this on the other side, and he makes these.
Oh yeah, I've used those before.
Does anybody in there have something to say?
The power of God.
Ah.
The demon, the power of God.
What about the power of God? Jill?
Do you know either of our names?
What's our names?
Lost him.
The angels of God.
This
We will
guy.
take some angels. If angels would like to speak to us, I'm open to it.
I'm open as well.
Well, I'm going to turn this off, so say something impressive. Oh, wait, I got something. Give us a curse word.
It could be. But my friend.
Almost a shit.
Last call. Gave you some liquor. What you got to say? All right, I'm gonna go. Say goodnight.
See ya.
Hello.
Hello.
You look at this a little backwards, huh? Last call. One more time. Something to say.
The resurrection of the dead.
Okay, that'll take
Resurrection
time.
of the dead.
We'll take the resurrection of the dead.
Wow. Well,
Oh, well, you know, sometimes they're in the mood.
it's an interesting little tool, isn't it?
Yeah, sometimes I gotta fiddle with the knobs, and then people come in and I have it, you know, they fiddle with it and they're not supposed to. And I can't get it to work for a couple of days, and I gotta get back. It's all about the fine tuning, you know. We just got a word here. What were the last few words? Stare. It says stare. Would you like to go to the stairs? And see
Sure,
what's going on
sure.
there? We can just bring
Yeah. I got the spirit box in case. So yeah, guys, this is Bloody Mary's museum over here that we're in right now. This is where we did the seance.
Well, we did like part of a healing.
Yeah, somewhat of a
Oh, we got 2
healing.
minutes. It's 7.
Okay.
13.
Yep, she's got a tour tonight, so yeah, you guys in the episode
Yeah.
we're going to be covering this upstairs cuz it's got a very tragic history.
It said stairs, so we just come to the stairs for a minute to sign off. Empath, I was saying earlier that empathic paranormal is part of how. Oops, it's getting crazy.
Shh.
Within capital empath tub.
Oh,
We're going
wow.
to deal with that when we go upstairs, but you have to wait for the episode
video.
for that. But it told us to come to the stairs, and it never shut up when we got here. We do have a guardian of the stairs here, Dave. He was a man when from, I think, the 50s when this was a hair salon. But he kind of puts himself as a guard here.
Really?
And he lets the children come up and down. He lets the lady of the house come up and down. He lets the two ladies of the 19th century have the way. He doesn't mind the cats. They come up and down. The two men from the 20th century. He tries to stop the man of the house. A lot of people, a lot of the spirits here assign themselves as protectors because of something very dark that happened. In the tub! Okay.
Yeah,
and I know.
in the tub.
I gotta go do a ghost hunt, folks.
All right.
See ya in New Orleans. And
Yep.
See ya on social media until then.
Yeah, if you guys want to follow Bloody Mary.
Bloody Mary Nola. Nola is New Orleans, Louisiana. So Nola on TikTok or on Instagram. Join up, see all kinds of goodies as they
You
happen.
post a lot of really good history too. I'll
I
say.
have a lot of history. I am foremost a historian, a tour company, an author. You know, all that. It's very evident, I guess, in what I do. And I love my town.
I love it too. Well, everybody, I'm gonna sign off now and pack up before she has to get going. But I'll hop back on live in a couple minutes if y'all stick around. So see you soon.